So far, the summer movie season is taking off with a bang. Sequels for both Spider-Man and Shrek setting records already, and the third installment of Disney's pirate series, Pirates of the Caribbean at the World's End, comes out this weekend. High expectations, although I hear it's an hour too long. But right here on Squawk on the Street, we're more concerned about helping you make money off of a trend. So today we take a look at another way to play the movie season. Entertainment Properties Trust. It's a real estate investment trust. They acquire and develop entertainment properties. That includes megaplex theaters. Its Chief Executive Officer, David Brain, joins us today. David, I bet you David Faber is just so jealous right now that he doesn't know what to do. Is your last name really Brain, spelled Brain?
It is indeed, and I've been on a couple of times and I think gone through with David Faber before, but yes, it is.
If Mark Haynes were here, that would be what the rest of the interview was about, because that is pretty amazing.
He has offline talked about that with Faber, I've heard it.
All right. Well, David, let's get to this. So you develop and acquire entertainment properties. Is this just movie theaters, or what is the full description of your business?
Well, it's beyond movie theaters, but movie theaters is our workhorse. It is the mainstay of the traffic generator for our properties. Is what we depend on the most. And by and large, theaters anchor all of our properties. Now, we also have other active entertainment, recreation, skating, bowling, and then we have restaurants. We very often call the centers we develop entertainment centers because they're so restaurant dominated. And then some impulse retail, very little fashion, very little white goods, but they're really all about your evening destination entertainment outing from the home.
All right, so, you know, if you're talking about bowling, skating, restaurants, movies, shopping, you pretty much have a view of every single thing that people spend money on, discretionary income. Are Americans pulling back because of gas prices? Is there any change at all?
Well, it's a plus and a minus. In a way, yes, we saw it. We saw it really a year or so ago when we had kind of an oil shock. We certainly saw the pullback. This summer, it's a little more people have visibility of the pricing of gasoline. And what happens, though, with people going a little shorter or smaller or a little less of a vacation, they very often then will treat themselves with more of an entertainment outing at home, and therefore that actually picks up our business. So we get a little plus and a minus. There's a pullback because of discretionary money is a little bit more scarce, but at the same time, people are willing to treat themselves for these type of outings as opposed to the larger vacation indulgences.
So what about movies? Does it matter how popular, you know, the movie is in terms of how you do?
Well, it does. Our income is predominantly base rents, but we also have participating rents with all of our theater operators in all of our locations. It adds a couple of points to our income, but the way percentage rents work, the faster the industry grows, the more those become part of the landscape for us. So we do have the prospect of doubling that, which adding 2 and 3% to our revenue line, which can mean up to a dime per share. So it can be a big feature for us in the future, and as the industry grows the way it is right now, the outlook for that is very good.
Is it growing, though? I mean, you've got video on demand. I was just at the cable show in Las Vegas, and what I heard from every single telecom cable company is we're going to be delivering movies to people the minute they're released on the big screen, on the little screen. Are you worried about that being a huge blow to your business?
Well, I think there was just an announcement about that, and I think that's coming. But if you see the same thing, the sleeper that no one talks about is the price points are $30 to $50 for those immediate releases. So it makes going to the theater look like a bargain still. I think you're going to see price points actually high in the 50 and 60 range. You're going to see some of that in the future. That's probably true. But at the same time, most of the studios, even Bob Iger at Disney, who talked a lot about simultaneous release because he comes from a more of a media than a theater background, has now pulled back from that and has talked about the theatrical release sequence mode is the best thing for the studio and the best thing for the value of that software, that is that title. So I think you'll see the studios maintaining that as far as the eye can see.
They'll fight. David, thank you very much.
Thank you.
David Brain with us there.